We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or, if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south-of-the-border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside. Or maybe you're in the mood for seafood. Big Sur Oyster Bar has fresh seafood prepared right before your eyes. Savor freshly shucked oysters, crab legs jambalaya, shrimp and lobster. Beers on tap and a selection of fine wines are perfect to pair with your seafood favorite. Whether lunch or dinner, you'll love this fun atmosphere, located just off the casino floor. Ready to shake things up? Step back in time and treat yourself to one of the oldest restaurant chains in the country. Steak and Shake, famous for original mouth-watering steak burgers and hand-dipped milkshakes in a variety of flavors. For some old-fashioned fun, try Steak and Shake.
Hi, I'm Kurt Angle. I represented the United States in the Olympics in 1996 and won a gold medal. Then I parlayed that into a pro wrestling career. I saw a commercial a few years ago.
Tunnel to Towers Foundation made a promise.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation is paying off the mortgages for Gold Star families with young children. I thought, this is really cool. I want to be a part of it. My dad served in the Army for 30 years. We didn't have a lot of money, but he made sure we had what we needed. He set a great example for all of us. He died in a construction accident my freshman year in high school. When he died, we didn't have any income coming in, and we ended up being forced to move out of our house. I was devastated. So I understand what these families are going through, and to have an organization like Tunnel to Towers come in and pick you up and carry you and give you a home to live in, I think that's just amazing. I'd like to ask you to donate $11 a month to support these efforts by going to t2t.org or calling 1-844-BRAVEST.
Big-time, nighttime pools are always at Los Alamitos, with early Pick 4 pools of more than $175,000 on most nights, and a late Pick 4 pool of more than $150,000 on most nights. Plus, our Pick 6 pools have reached record figures in 2025, including a total pool of over $370,000 on June 15th, and record Pick 6 payouts. Big-time, nighttime pools every weekend at Los Alamitos.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
Live from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with a Las Vegas perspective. Now to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the racebooks and on the internet, to all horse players around the world, a good morning. Morning, everybody. Welcome to the Race Day Las Vegas radio program. We come to you live and direct from the gaming capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, right here at our studio station at the South Point Hotel Casino Complex on Las Vegas Boulevard here in Las Vegas, and the South Point Studios streaming network at YouTube. We welcome you to the show, as well as all of you listening to us this morning here in town through our radio station outlet, our anchor station, Sports Talk 1400 AM and 107.1 FM. Websites, racedaylasvegas.com, .vegas, .world, .global, iPhone, Android, and Google phone with the apps. You can get the KSHP app to get on the listening through the radio station. Of course, the YouTube app to see and hear us through that app as well on your devices. And, of course, anywhere you get your podcasting. We welcome you to the show on today. This almost Friday, Thursday, here in Las Vegas. Oof, man. It's 90 degrees already outside here, but I can tell you this, we got a nice breeze coming through, and it's not really a heavy wind. It's just a nice little breeze coming through, and when it's 90 degrees out and you get a little breeze out there, it's kind of nice and comfortable this morning so far. But we're going to get up to 111 degrees today. Yeah, the old picket fence, 111 degrees. That gets us into extreme heat territory. And when we get to the extreme heat territory, I can't say it enough times to stay hydrated. Get that water, keep that water bottle by you all the time, and limit your activities and limit your exposure outside completely, especially for the pets and the kids, okay? And for anybody else out there who has a problem with the heat, especially the elderly, check on them and make sure. But stay hydrated. If you feel hydrated, it's going to be too late. You must stay hydrated. Keep that water by you all the time. Now, as far as the rest of the country, we haven't beat Phoenix, Arizona. We didn't beat it again today either. It's going to be 117 degrees in Phoenix, Arizona, the hot spot in the nation. As far as racing centers around the country, Miami, 86 with rain. You've got, New York, partly sunny and partly cloudy in New York with 81. Chicago is going to be 90 degrees today. 90 degrees in Chicago with that humidity. You know it's going to be a bear over there. That's for sure. Now, as far as the Southwest is concerned, not only are we at 111, Phoenix is going to be 117, but you got like 99 in Albuquerque, 99 in Denver, and Dallas, Texas is going to be 99. So you get the picture. It's like really hot in the southern, southwest part of the nation. And in Southern California, where Del Mar cranks up again today, it's going to be 95. So it's going to be, it'll probably be cooler a little bit at the beach down there at Del Mar. But in Los Angeles, it's going to be 95. So keep that in mind if you see horses that will get a little bit more sweat than normal in the post parade, okay? And I'm sure if it's warm and hot out there in Del Mar, they'll shorten up the post parade a little. You know, we have a lot of great... people that show up and chat on our chat box every day. Now, this is what you do. When you get to the YouTube, get to YouTube, and then you get to the Race Day page proper, and you're on our Race Day page, you'll see on the right-hand side, it's the chat box, okay? And we have the listeners and watchers from all over the world that chat on that chat box. They get together. It's a community thing for Race Day. And we got sharp guys out there, too, that do a lot of chatting. They provide a lot of good information. One of our chatters already provided that the turf races at Colonial Downs will be off the turf today, stuff like that. Anyhow, some of them do post questions. And, of course, our producer here, Sean, once in a while will put up a survey as well. So we're getting into getting back and forth with our watchers and listeners on the chat box, all right? So yesterday we had one of our chatters that asked a question, and we're going to post that question to you in just a minute. But I want to remind everybody how, if you want to start building up the community here with the Race Day and going back and forth, you get to the chat box. You get on our page, the Race Day Las Vegas page, okay? Once you get to YouTube, you got to search out the Race Day page. You just punch in South Point Studios. If you haven't found the page, usually it's on the home page in the morning. You just press click on Race Day and you'll get to our page. Once you're on our page, you'll see the chat box going on the right-hand side. The only thing that is required to become a chatter in the chat box is to subscribe, and the subscription is free. No charge whatsoever. We're not going to be emailing you a bunch of garbage and stuff. We don't do that. You just subscribe, and then you enter into the chat box, and then you can start sharing ideas, etc., or questions. Now, we did have a question from James. James had a question yesterday. It was a pretty good question, I thought, too. It said, he asked, would you cancel your win bet? Now you have a win bet on a horse. Would you cancel it if you saw the odds drop from 8-1 to 3-1 in the last minute before they reached the starting gate? And this is, of course, talking about the CAW effect on the win pool when they're allowed to bet right up until post time or while they're loading into the gate. You know that we've seen this happen, too. As a matter of fact, Jonathan Hardun had gave an example about it about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago at Del Mar that it happened. The horse went into the starting gate at 8-1, won the race, and paid $8. It was a 3-1 shot. So would you do it in the last minute? That's the question. As far as I'm concerned, I probably would not, only because of the fact that I probably couldn't get to the window and cancel the bet and then re-bet another horse in the race. Certainly it affects us, does it not, when you have this horse in the race over race bets, the pick fives, the pick threes, the pick fours, etc. You're kind of locked in. Well, when you're locked in that way, it doesn't matter, because when people are advance betting in a pick four or pick five, they're usually basing it on the morning line odds. Okay? And the morning line odds, you don't see the action outside of the first race in the sequence. You wouldn't see the action until you already have the bet in. So that wouldn't apply so much to the all of the picks, but it does apply to the exact win bet, because you have an opportunity to cancel your win bet. Me personally, I would probably ride it out, but I wouldn't like it. And so they're going to pose, Sean's going to pose that question on the chat box, and you guys can give your opinion on that. And what we're going to do is we're going to try in ensuing days to try to get more of you guys involved with the chat boxes and et cetera. As a matter of fact, I'm toying with an idea of doing, as you know, all of our handicappers have their product that they sell, the handicapping sheets that they sell. And there have been times when people come up to me, and especially like a couple of weeks ago, when we got to Jerry Jackowitz, we were talking about a horse, and he says, well, did you get my V horse that paid I think the horse paid $50-something. It was an outrageous price. And a lot of people, got to me and said, why didn't he give that horse out? Well, I never ask the handicappers to do anything that they don't want to do. They get to choose the race that they want to give you in every day. And you know that because a lot of them land sometimes on the same horse, and certainly sometimes, a lot of times, on the same race. So I don't want to restrict them in any way. They give us what they believe to be their best horse. But there have times when I've looked at their sheets and say, man, look at this horse. Too bad he didn't give this horse out, because the horse won and paid like $14, $15, etc. So what I am toying with the idea of doing, and I've got the permission already from our handicappers on the show, is to do a race day extra sheet. And each day I'll go into their product, and after the show, after they have given out their horse, I will search out that product, and it'll be my choice of giving an extra horse out for each handicapper on the race day extra sheet. And we got 4 handicappers, so it'll be 4 plays a day plus a play that I'll put on. So it'll be 5 plays a day, and I'll charge a minimal fee. I have to cover the expenses, but this way, there's a lot of times when I look at the sheet and say, "Wow, this is a nice V horse. I wish he gave it out." Or John Lindo has a nice horse in a race, or Jonathan Hardun, or whatever. So I'm toying with that idea, and maybe I'll get a little feedback from you whether you think it's a good idea or not, and then we'll go from there. Okay? All right. So much for that. By the way, Jonathan Hardun won't be on our show today. He had a small emergency, not a big one, but he has to attend to something this morning, and hopefully he's doing it right now. But he did send us his picks, so it's no problem. And he does have a sheet. He has a full sheet for Saratoga and Del Mar today, but he will not be with us on the show. He'll return tomorrow. Now, that deal with Tyler Connor, that really horrible spill that Tyler Connor had a couple of weeks ago. You remember that Francisco Arrieta got days for cutting in front of him and causing him to spill. Well, Tyler Connor, was paralyzed for a while, and then he's coming back and all that stuff. But he said that he will not ride horses anymore. And then yesterday, he announced officially his retirement. So jockey Tyler Connor, who was involved in that terrible spell and is still recovering, he still has work to do. Don't have all of his full facilities back yet, but he has decided to officially retire. We wish him all the best, and we wish him a full and healthy recovery. Tyler Connor made it official today. He has retired from racing. All right, like we said yesterday, a couple big races are happening this weekend. Most of them at Colonial Downs. Secretariat Stakes has 8 in it. The Beverly D has 6 in it. The Arlington Million's the big one. Mystic Dan, who won the Kentucky Derby a couple of years ago, is going to try the turf for the first time. He's a part of the Arlington Million 8 in the race. Integration is there. He's part of 2 horses entered by Shug McGahee. So that'll be an interesting race. The Sword Dancer at Saratoga will bring back Far Bridge, who has been racking him up on the grass for Miguel Clement. And the Saratoga Oaks has 6 in it that is headed by Opulent Restraint for Chad Brown. So it's going to be good stuff there. All right, here we go. Now, you know that if Jonathan was listening and was getting ready to do the show, he'd have a comment on this. And if he wants to comment tomorrow, he can. The HISA folks are now creating a racing office advisory group. A racing office advisory group. So they stuck their nose under the tent, right? And now they're getting further and further in there. I don't know all the parameters about it, but just the name of the racing office advisory group that'll be overseen by HISA is going to be, I would say, if not at least controversial, certainly concerning. So we'll leave that at that. Let me take a look at, I wanted to do this yesterday, the fastest Beyer figures in stakes races last week, okay? There were 4 of them, all right, 4 of them. At 109, a 109 Beyer. Sierra Leone got a 109 Beyer for winning the Whitney Stakes, all right? He got 109 Beyer for that. Deterministic, a nice gate-to-wire winner of the 4-star Dave, got a 101. He got a 101 Beyer. And then My Main Squeeze, that won the Johnston Stakes, got a 100 Beyer, or 100 even Beyer. And the highest Beyer of the weekend was not Sierra Leone. It was Seismic Beauty, who won the Clement L. Hirsch down at Del Mar this weekend. The Clement L. Hirsch winner, Seismic Beauty, got a 110 Beyer for that win there. And as you know, we're keeping track of these horses because we're on our march now to the Breeders' Cup. We still got the Travers, I know, and we still got the Jockey Club Gold Cup and the Pacific Classic and quite a few other big races yet to come. But it's not too early to start figuring out how this 3-year-old group and the older horses are going to get together for the Breeders' Cup Showdown. All right, so those are the horses that got the highest Beyers over the weekend. Big bucks just completed at the Saratoga 2-day select yearling sales. I'm going to tell you, there were some royally bred horses that went through those sales in the last couple of days at Saratoga. This is one of the most premier, the Fasig-Tipton sales at Saratoga is one of the premier sales for the yearlings. And all the big boys were there. The select yearling sale had a record-breaking session for 2 days. 25 yearlings commanded more than $1 million in purchase. Over 25 of them cost over $1 million, and the highest priced one topped out at $4.1 million. It was an into mischief offspring. $4.1 million. Can't wait to see this horse run next year as a 2-year-old, okay? There were 160 in the 2-day session, and the total for money that they raised in selling these 160 horses, $100,715,000 of horse flesh was sold during the Saratoga sales. It was 23% raise from last year. So we got a lot of exciting 2-year-olds that will be hitting the track next year, that's for sure, off of this group. And Gulfstream Park has raised its head again. They are suing the Florida Gaming Control Board for their decision not to decouple the casino action from the racing action in Florida. Remember, they were denied from the Florida Gaming Commission. So the Gulfstream Park authorities there, they're going to go a lawsuit. They're going to take a lawsuit and say they're going to bring it to court for the decoupling. They still want to decouple the revenue they get from the horse racing slot machines and the horse racing proper. So that's that. All right, we got a lot to cover today. Jonathan Hardun, of course, will give us his picks. Rich Eng will be here, and so will John Lindo and Jerry J. And taking a quick look at what happened yesterday at Saratoga. Linda Rice had a couple of winners yesterday. She won the second race with Royal Bobby. Jose Ortiz aboard, paying $6.80. She came back in the fifth race with Jose Lascano, one of her top jocks. They got together in the fifth race to get Linda's second win of the day at $4.30. Jose Ortiz had a couple of wins yesterday. He came back in the sixth race for his second win for Joe Sharp, paying $9.60. Flavian Pratt had a couple of wins. He won the fourth race for George Weaver, paying $5.20, and came back in the eighth race for Chad Brown, paying $6.30. And the featured Birdstone yesterday on a track that seemed to be wet. When you saw this, the winner of this horse, the Birdstone, go into the winner's circle to get his winner's photograph, he was all covered in, it wasn't mud, it was just dirt, all like it was sticking to this horse. Anyhow, it had to be a deep and wet track. The Birdstone won by Parchment Party, John Velasquez aboard for Bill Mott, paying $3.80, outrunning Digital Ops and James Warden. And the last race winner paid $87 to win, a big upset. That $87 winner was more than the combined win payoffs of all the 8 races prior to it. All of the 8 races combined totaled $67.20, and the last race winner paid $87. All right, enough said here. We got to get to our break. When we get back, we'll give you your racing menu, and then we'll be going with John Lindo and Rich Eng and Jerry Jackowitz as well. And I've got Mr. Hardun's picks for you, so don't go away. Don't forget to get to that chat box. We'll be right back.
South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
Big-time, nighttime pools are always at Los Alamitos, with early Pick 4 pools of more than $175,000 on most nights, and a late Pick 4 pool of more than $150,000 on most nights. Plus, our Pick 6 pools have reached record figures in 2025, including a total pool of over $370,000 on June 15th, and record Pick 6 payouts. Big-time, nighttime pools every weekend at Los Alamitos.
Hello everybody, this is Chris Andrews, the Sportsbook Director at the South Point Casino. Well, Friday, August 1st, we are opening our Games of the Year, 10 a.m. Here's the sheets. I put them out on Twitter so you can do your own handicapping, or come on in here and you can see what games, make your own numbers. By 10:30, I'll be on Sports by the Book. We'll talk about some of the early moves. We're going to have a lot of great games. Georgia and Texas, USC and Notre Dame, LSU and Alabama. That's another big game. Come on in. We'll be booking these till the season starts right before Labor Day.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. Time to get to your racing menu for today. As you know, we tell you every day that the first post times we broadcast on this racing menu are the first post times in the Pacific time zone, because that's where we're at here in Las Vegas. These will be the first post times rolled out in our race book here at the South Point. So if you're in another time zone, and we know you are from around the world watching us and listening to us, just adjust whatever time zone you're in to the Pacific time zone to get the first post times right for the racetracks in your area, okay? We don't want you to miss anything like I miss Mom and Dad. Okay, here we go. We start off with Colonial Downs. Colonial Downs has a early starting post time in about 14 minutes at 7:45, because the first three races are scheduled steeplechase races. Now, I don't know if they're going to run them or not, since the other races are off the turf, but this is the way it was shaked out before any changes. The hurdles will be the first three races. As a matter of fact, the third race will be a $100,000 stakes race over the jumps. And then the 4th through 11th race will be thoroughbreds. First post time is set at 7:45 if they go as planned at Colonial Downs. Next comes Delaware Park. Delaware Park has a first post time for 9 races set at 9:30 at Delaware Park. Then we go to Belterra Park next. Belterra Park has 8 races. They got a super high five carryover there of $414. 8 races, Belterra, first post time 9:35. Saratoga. Saratoga has 10 races today. Their feature race at Saratoga is the Galloway. It's the 7th on the card, 5.5 furlongs on the Mellon Turf course for fillies 3-year-olds and up. A field of 16 before any scratches. You know there'd be scratches in the race, especially the main track onlys. But anyhow, track is fast. The turf courses are firm. It is partly sunny and 70 degrees, so the turf races will stay on the turf right now. And so that's the way that is. As a matter of fact, you've got 10 races today, and the Galloway set on the turf is the 7th on the card, okay? First post time at Saratoga set at 10:10. 10:10 at Saratoga today. And that, again, the Galloway goes as the 7th. Next comes Horseshoe Indianapolis. Horseshoe Indianapolis has a first post time of 11:10. 11:10 at Horseshoe Indianapolis. They have 8 thoroughbred races, 2 quarter-horse stakes races. They'll come in the 9th and 10th races there. And Horseshoe Indianapolis first post time is set at 11:10. Woodbine has 8 races today. Woodbine has a super high 5 jackpot carryover of $5,862. They've got 8 races, first post time 12:10. Then we have Hawthorne Racecourse. Hawthorne has 8 races today. They've got a super high 5 carryover of $1,032 there, and a first post time at Hawthorne of $12.40 for their 8 race card. Then we go down to Del Mar, where the turf meets the surf. Del Mar has 8 races today, and their first post time at Del Mar is set at 2 o'clock, as she tells us all about them at the beach down there. Del Mar, first post time 2 o'clock. Penn National, their 7 race card starts at 2:45. They got a big super high 5 jackpot carryover, at least for today, $9,000 in the super high 5 jackpot carryover at Penn National. First post time 2:45 for their 7 races. Canterbury Park has 10 races. The first 5 will be quarter horse trials for 3-year-olds at 400 yards, and the last 5 will be regular thoroughbred races. And first post time at Canterbury Park is set at 3:10. Then we go to Evangeline Downs. Evangeline Downs has 8 races with a first post time at 3:30. And then we'll wrap it up with Charlestown. Charlestown has a carryover in their Pick 6 jackpot of $3,790. 8 races and a first post time of 4 p.m. at Charlestown. And that is your racing menu for this Almost Friday, Thursday. All right, we're going to go out to, I do want to make a point that we're going to close up now that question that I said for the chatters out there in the chat box. Again, the question is, would you cancel your win bet if you saw the odds drop from 8-1 to 3-1 in the last minute. That is the question from James on the chat box, and we'll get some of the results from the chat box. We're going to close it up now. We hope that you participated. Now we're going to go out to John Lindo standing by. I know, John, we're going to use you, John, for two spots. We're going to do a little bit of a Hardun spot here for you, and then we'll come back later on with you after Richie shows up. But in the meantime, what would you do? Would you cancel your win bet?
I do all the time, Ralph. It's just, to me, it's obviously based on value. On that Lindo report I put out, I don't put a morning line on those horses. I put what I consider fair odds. And so this is the price that I'll accept. So if I have fair odds of 7-2, the horse is 6-1 on the board, and I see a late change, the horse is down to 5-2, I'll just cancel. And you have to, because even when you win at the discounted price, in the long run, you're going to get beat because you're not playing the value. So that's why these shutting off these CAWs at 2 minutes to post makes a huge difference for me. I can play with confidence, and I did this last week. When I see less than 2 minutes what the prices are on the board, that's basically what I'm going to get.
Now, John, that is for the win bets, and that is a huge difference, a huge, I think, thing that they did that helps out the regular players. That's for the win bets, right? Let me ask you this. Before it happened, if you knew that, okay, I'm going to bet this win bet on this horse, I know the CAW is going to jump in late, etc. So I got to wait and see on the board if this bet is going to be something that I want to keep or cancel because of the value that is left. However, when those horses go down, other horses might go up, etc. Did you ever have like an alternate horse that you would bet to win if that happened and you canceled your original bet?
Yeah, not very often, but again, before we saw the stabilization of the win prices, you had to look at the will pace for the pick threes and the rolling bets to get an idea of who the favorite really was going to be and who an overlay might be on the choke board. And if somebody I think is going to drift out that I think has a chance, you were waiting as long as possible. But if that last roll of you'd watch to see if that horse would drift out a little bit. But it just depends when that last rollover of the tote is, whether you can play or not.
Now, of course, people at the track really they might be at a disadvantage compared to the people who have a phone betting account that just can punch it in on their phone because when you punch it on your phone, you're not waiting in line behind a couple of other guys. Where at the track, you might get shut out because you're waiting behind some other guys. So that's a dimension we have to look at. But I got to tell you, our chatters have responded, okay? In the short period of time that we had and we offered this question, we had 66 votes. And of the 66 votes, 59% of them agree with you. Yes, they would cancel their bet, and 40% would not. So I want to thank all of those that participated in that. And as we progress through the Race Day show, we'll do more of that stuff because it seems like it's really interesting, for the folks there. And we want to more or less start a community between our show and the people who watch and listen to us as well. So that's a good thing there. But I think that as you do, that at least protecting the win pool, which is the one that we can see, not only the money on the tote board, but of course the fluctuating odds. We can't see too much of the odds of what's going on with the exotics, etc., except to watch diligently watch the will pays. But I think it's a step in the right direction.
Oh, it has to be. It's going to at least provide a little bit of trust that the prices you see are what you're going to get. If you lose that trust, and they were, it was going that direction. If you lose that trust, why bother playing? We use the cross-reference to sports all the time, Ralph. If I bet Green Bay -7 and they kick off and all of a sudden I'm giving 9 after the game has started, so, well, wait a minute, that's not what I wanted.
Yeah.
So, if I bet 3-1 and I get 8-5, well, that's not what I wanted. We can't do that.
And another thing, John, that, by the way, I'm glad you mentioned that. The preseason football starts this week. So our sports book is all jazzed and ready to go for that in any case. But, that's that's a dimension I think that worked out fine. I think that's a good thing there. John, what I want you to do is hang right in there. We're gonna go to our commercial break. When we come back, I'm gonna get Richie's report in, and then go back to you for looking at Del Mar. We got to catch up on the jockey trainer standings there, and what you think what's going on at Del Mar today. Okay.
I'll be ready to go, Ralph.
All right, you got it. Thanks a lot, John. All right, they're training on the track around the country. Want to thank the chatters for participating. This will be the first in many, I would expect, questions out there that we'll be doing for the chat box as well. Thanks, James, for that question, and we'll be back right after this.
Here we are in Houston, opening up our first veteran village. This beautiful building that is going to house 161 homeless veterans. Any veteran that risks their lives and they're struggling with PTSD, mental illness, addiction. We're also building what I call comfort homes, 500 square foot homes. These are for older homeless veterans, so they have their own space, and give them back some of their dignity, some of their independence, and most certainly give them back their life. Go to T2T.org to learn how you can change a veteran's life forever.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book, South Point Studio.
We don't make stuff up here.
I would only play the Pirates team total going under.
What the hell happened to Minnesota's pitching? This total has really crashed without plumbing the lineup.
I think this number's too high, but they're landing me the 6.
Oh, I know.
Caitlin Clark drives handle on the WNBA.
Never mind all these Mickey Mouse other stations. We are giving you hands-on information.
Alrighty, back on Race Day Las Vegas, and time to go out to Rich Eng standing by. Richie, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ralphie. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, listeners.
Well, I'll pose the same question to you as James did to our chatters and, of course, our other handicappers on the show. Would you cancel your win bet if you saw the odds drop from 8-1 to 3-1 in last minute in a race?
Well, in that specific example, if I could cancel, I would, because an odds drop of 5 points from 8 to 3 is huge. I mean, that's getting less than half the value of what you originally thought you were going to get. If the odds were like from 8 to 6 or 8 to 5, chances are I would keep the bet, because at least it was close enough to my original wager. But 8 to 3 or 8 to 5 to 2 is just too much of a drop.
So you would put a limit on how far you'll go before you actually cancel the bet, then, and that limit is a personal criteria for anybody out there who's making a bet, right?
Yeah, and I would mirror what John Lindo just said a couple of minutes ago, because on his sheet he puts what he calls fair value, and I think every bettor, every handicapper has to have fair value in their head of what they would accept. And from 8-1 to 3-1, it's just too much. But probably 5-1, 6-1 would probably be worth it. But you have to establish that yourself.
Now that is, of course, the angle with the CAW, because we know CAW, that action comes in late to fill in all the little holes that the algorithms tell them to do, and they can make gargantuan amounts of bets in a short period of seconds. But now I know that a lot of people, and myself included, when you watch the races, especially in races for 2-year-olds, that when the first flash on the odds board, this is the first flash, and a horse is maybe 8-1 or 6-1, it goes down to 8-5. That is something that people do take into consideration a lot, because they consider that maybe, hot money.
Yeah, and the horse is hot on the board, or you'll hear people say a horse is dead on the board. In certain examples, Ralph, certainly if I was doing like horizontal bets, whether the horse is 8-1 or 5-1 or 3-1, if you like the horse to win, it's kind of a different type of wager, because in a horizontal bet, whether it's a pick 3, pick 4, pick 5, pick 6, you just want to survive and advance. So while you do want value, the most important thing is actually pick the winner and bet the winner, so your horizontal bet continues.
Yeah, and like I said, when it happens, as soon as the odds board opens and you see a drastic drop, you got to think to yourself, well, that's a hot horse. Somebody knows something. At least that's, the mindset that most players have in that situation. But that is a totally different situation of tracking money and the intent of the money than it is with the CAWs at the end. All right. Well,
I just want to make a quick point, then we'll move on to my picks. But you hit on something that actually is an angle that I like, in the fact that if a horse opens up hot, say the horse is like 6-1 in the morning line, opens up at 2-1, but then during the course of the betting drifts up and maybe even drifts up back to the 5 or 6-1. I like that kind of betting. I like to see the big money come early rather than late, and then have the horse drift back up to the price that I think it should be. Because a lot of times when people are backing a horse, they will bet the horse in advance wagering. Whether it's barn money, owner money, sharp money. If that money goes in early and then drifts up, I like that kind of action.
Yeah, that certainly tells you that there's a lot of money that came in early that believes in the horse anyhow, that's for sure.
Yep.
Just a couple of different ways about looking at odds changes and what it affects us normal players, that's for sure. All right, Richie, I know that you have a full sheet of Del Mar for today, for Del Mar races, but you also, I see, you have a pick at Saratoga today.
Yeah, I've been trying to sniff out a second pick to give more options. Let's go to Saratoga Race 9, Ralph. It's a mile on the grass, optional claimer 100. Let's go with that combination of Chad Brown and Flavion Pratt at number 7, valuation metric. This horse coming off a layoff since October, but this horse has run 3 really good races. Now picks up first-time Lasix, but let's go with number 7, valuation metric in the 8th race. 9th race.
That would be the 9th race, yeah. So the 9th race at Saratoga, number 7, valuation metric. Pratt and Brown together. The 7 valuation metric in the 9th race is your pick, the 7 at Saratoga. By the way, that horse on the morning line is 9-2, just in case. People want to know. In any case, let's go to Del Mar. We have a full sheet of handicapping right now, Del Mar, for today at the RacedayLasVegas.com websites.
Race number 4 is a mile on the turf, same as that Saratoga race, and is for claiming 50. Let's go to the outside post, number 8, Curvino, with J.J. Hernandez riding for Peter Miller. This horse is going to try to find a trip, meaning before the first turn, Hernandez is going to have to decide whether he's going to use some horse to go forwardly placed or to take back and try to find a spot to tuck in closer to the rail before the first turn. Number 8, Curvino in the 4th.
4th race, part of the early pick 4 and early pick 5 at Del Mar. In the 4th race, number 8, Curvino, the 8 in the 4th race. Rich Eng's play off of his sheet for Del Mar today. And don't forget, he's got all of the races, all 8 today at the RacedayLasVegas.com website. Thanks a lot, Richie. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Hey, thanks, Rob. Good luck, everybody.
All right, we're going to take our final break, and when we come back, take 2, the second part of John Lindo today with us. He's going to give us, of course, the jockey trainer updates and what's going on today in his picks at Del Mar as well, so don't go away. And then, of course, Jerry Jackowitz as well. We'll be right back.
Big-time, nighttime pools are always at Los Alamitos, with early pick 4 pools of more than $175,000 on most nights, and a late pick 4 pool of more than $150,000 on most nights. Plus, our pick 6 pools have reached record figures in 2025, including a total pool of over $370,000 on June 15th, and record pick 6 payouts. Big-time, nighttime pools every weekend at Los Alamitos.
The Race Day Las Vegas Show, the only exclusive daily local media racing information source in Las Vegas.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. Now let's go out to John Lindo again. And I want to thank John for spending a little bit more time with us than usual now that Mr. Hardun won't be with us today. I'll give Jonathan Hardun's picks out right now so we don't forget. Because, I could forget. So we go to Saratoga first. At Saratoga, Jonathan Hardun goes to the 10th and final race. In the 10th and final race at Saratoga, Jonathan likes the 5. A little bit naughty. Perfectly named, I guess, for Jonathan. In the 10th race, number 5, a little bit naughty, the 5 in the 10th at Saratoga. And then at Del Mar, Jonathan will go to the 6th race. And in the 6th race at Del Mar, Jonathan likes number 5, Dealer's Special. Number 5, Dealer's Special. Source is 8-1 on the morning line. The 5 in the 6th race at Del Mar is Jonathan's pick there. Remember that Jonathan has a full sheet of handicapping both for Del Mar and Saratoga today on his website. All right, let's go back to John Lindo now. John, good morning for take 2.
No, I'm here to go. How you doing, Ralph?
Very well. I guess maybe we should go right to get those jockey and trainer standings out of the way at Del Mar.
Okay, well, after 3 weeks, we've got Juan Hernandez as the leading jockey. He's got 15 wins. Antonio Frizu right behind with 13. Kazushi Kimura rounds out the top 3. He's having a good meet, 11 winners so far for Kimura. As far as the trainers go, Ralph, Mark Glad is now the leading trainer. He's got 9 wins, and it's bunched up. You've got Bob Baffert and Peter Miller right behind with 8 wins each. And for you, Ralph, favorites are winning at 37% so far at Del Mar.
I can tell you, Peter Miller is really zeroed in on this Del Mar season. You can see he has a taste to try to win the trainer standings there at Del Mar. And, of course, his entire barn trains right up the street at the training center up there, right?
Yeah, he's based at San Luis Rey. He has a bunch of stalls at Del Mar as well. So as they get ready to run, he'll bring the horses into the racetrack and spend a little time at Del Mar before they run.
I can tell you this, that his horses are ready to run. There's no horses that are getting a race and, prepping for something else. They're all ready to run when he puts them in there at Del Mar, isn't it?
Yeah, you can just see he gave a lot of horses a prep race, whether it be at Churchill Downs or out of the state or even up at Santa Anita. Kind of gave horses a race and tightened the screws for Del Mar because they've come out running and they've for the most part, they've all jumped forward down here like they were intended to be at their best when they got to the Del Mar.
John, also, we're taking a look, we're far enough into the meet to check those Ship and Win. How are the Ship and Win? I think the Ship and Win horses, I think they're doing better than they did last year, aren't they?
There's been a steady flow of winners. I'll try and get those numbers from David Jerkins, the racing secretary from Del Mar, and get that information for you guys. I don't have exact numbers here.
Yeah, but do you feel the same thing, that these horses...
Oh, yeah. I agree. There haven't been as many in numbers, but I think the ones that are here have done very well so far.
And the good thing about it is we know that a lot of the Southern California trainers, when they instituted the Ship and Win, program, that they got hip to, like going out of town with some of their horses and getting a start in another track out of town, like you said, Churchill Downs and places like that, and then bringing them back to Southern California to qualify for a Ship and Win. But I noticed that at Del Mar, there's a lot of like new trainers that we know are not on the Southern California circuit that are actually that shipped and win, the kind of like the old way, and are doing very well there.
Right. The first name that jumps out to my head is Kent Sweeney, J.K. Sweeney in the program, who's based at Gulfstream Park in the wintertime and at Churchill Downs in the spring. And what you see there, the rule at Churchill Downs, when you claim a horse, before you can leave the state, you have to start there one time. So he would claim a horse there and run a horse way over its head just to get a start in and be able to take the horse out of state. He brought 17 horses here, and he brought a really live barn.
Not to mention the fact that that would also qualify the horse to come here for the Ship and Win. So that works out fine between what Churchill, their rules are, and the Ship and Win program in Southern California. I noticed that Santa Anita picked up the Ship and Win after Del Mar last year. They're going to do the same, do you think, this year?
Santa Anita will have a version of the Ship and Win. It won't be the exact same in that at Del Mar, every time that horse starts out here, they run for the purse bonuses. At Santa Anita, you run for the purse bonus in the first start only coming in from out of state.
All righty, good enough. And, that's another handicapping angle, that's for sure. We got several different handicapping angles that the players have to put in along with their normal basic handicapping, but it's always fun. I know you have a pick at Saratoga. And so we'll take that pick and then go to Del Mar.
No, I did not do Saratoga today, Ralph. I've got actually a family wedding tomorrow, so I've been busy with some other stuff. So just Del Mar today. Tomorrow we'll have the late pick 5 at Saratoga Saturday with Del Mar.
I am corrected there. You are right. That was Rich Eng that had the other one. Okay. Well, then we'll just congratulate the family wedding, whoever's taking the nuptials there, and for the race day folks here. And now we'll take your pick at Del Mar.
Go to the 7th race at Del Mar, and this will kind of give you an idea about fair odds versus the morning line. Number 5, Young Love, beat Calbreds on the turf easily earlier in this meet. You can win that same Calbred condition on the dirt, so she moves to the dirt. You can throw out the one dirt race in her career. She got bounced off the rail and actually had to be vanned off last year. It was just a nasty trip. So I don't think the surface switch is going to make any difference. She's the controlling speed. She's 4-1 on the program. I made her 2-1 as my fair odds. Anything 2-1 or more is a very fair price here. Number 5, Young Love, coming right back on the surface switch, race 7, Del Mar.
I would guess that plays right into your plans for the wedding, Young Love. There's the hunch bet of the day. In the 7th race, the 5, Young Love, the 5 in the 7th race for all the reasons that John just said. In the 7th race today at Del Mar. Don't forget, he has a full sheet, the Lindo report, available with all the selections, the suggested late pick for, and all that goody information we've been talking about. One comprehensive sheet here at the South Point, only here at the South Point, in this entire gaming capital. You can only get the Lindo report here, and it's free of charge, complimentary to you, because they love horse players here, and Lindo's report as well. Hey, thanks a lot, John. Congratulate them for their nuptials, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
We'll do it, Ralph. Good luck today.
All right. Now we're going to go to Jerry Jackowitz standing by. Jerry, good morning.
Good morning, Young Love. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good thing for everybody.
Yes, it is. It certainly is. And hopefully...
When you could do it, I mean. Guys like you and me, it's past.
In the 7th race there at Del Mar, I guess we're going to love the 5 winning the race, though, right? All right, Jerry, what are we doing today? We're going to Saratoga first?
Yeah, we're going to go to the 3rd race at Saratoga. Despo's Dream, the 5 horse in the filly, I should say, in the third race, has this very attractive look of just a horse that's racing into really good shape and really handling racing well, goes up in class, improves. I think we'll take her up in class one more time. Flavian Pratt sticks with the horse. And we're getting 8-1. I think that's worth the gamble. I'll take the 5. Despo's Dream over the 1-3-6. Do reverses, but the 5, and you got to start with a win place bet here, folks. The 5, Despo's Dream in race number 3.
All right, 8-1 on the morning line. What'll you take it to?
5-1.
Okay. The 5 over 1, 3, and 6, and reverse the 5 in the 3rd race at Saratoga. Del Mar.
Del Mar, we're going to go to the 4th race.
Okay.
Number 4, we like to be topical. Number 7, Tariff.
Oh.
It's front and center right here.
Peter
Uriton. Just, a little bit faster than these. I think it's just a better horse and better. And I think that with the month off, he'll be really good. And I think he'll be fine. I'll take the 7 over the 1, 2, 6, and 8. Reverse 1, 2, 6, and 8 back over the 7. But the 7, Tariff, should bring in the money.
All right. In the 4th race, the 7, Tariff. The 7 is the key. The link-ups 1, 2, 6, and 8, and reverse. And I have a Siraco exacta play because Richie came with the 8 a little bit earlier in the show. So the Siraco play is going to be boxing the 7, 8, 8, 7 in the exacta. Your play is the 7 over 1, 2, 6, 8, and reverse.
Yeah, based on what I see, based on odds, not on horses. It's not a great box. One's 5-2. It's sort of like you're getting close to the top 2 betting choices. It's not a good exacta.
All right. Well, we'll see. I want to cash any.
It might come in, but I mean, just from
you got to say it. Say it quick. Go.
Have a great race day, everybody.